What's up, guys? Blade Master here. You're watching the Levy Freemen's Total War channel, and this is yet another Total War Room 2 online battle replay, and this one is going to be fought between Blade Master, yours truly, versus William Kazanka from the Sacred Band clan. I haven't heard of Sacred Band, but apparently they're a very old clan. I think they're like a Polish clan. I'm not sure. That's what I think that's what he told me. Anyway, really good player, really cool guy, and I just met him on Quick Battle. I've taken Boii and he's taken Getae as a counter pick. Let's take a look at what I've brought. So I've brought one Celtic warrior all the way up in front, and they're just going to be like this missile bait, arrow fodder, etc. I don't expect them to do a lot of damage. And let's put this on slow motion. I've brought one Celtic slinger behind them in my main line, and three spear warriors forming my third line, and finally four sword followers and one Oathsworn general this is going to be my main killing force. The four sword followers and one Oathsworn. Sword followers are incredibly strong melee infantry, and they're very cost effective as well. I've also brought two heavy horse in my main line. Now I've separated my army into three. The second line is going to be comprised of one Levy Freemen unit, one Celtic slinger, and two heavy horse. Finally, my right flank is going to be the identical, just one Levy Freeman, one Celtic slinger, and two heavy horse. Now, the reason why I split these into three is I'm following one of my subscribers' strategy, Boii. He's a really good player, and he always brings these like unconventional setups. And what he did, when I took Getae, he brought three slingers and he split them off into three. And what that ensured was he'd have a lot of slingers who could fire on my bow horsemen. And the reason why he split them off into three is because they can cover a pretty heavy area. Like splitting these three slingers could probably fit in something like this. This entire huge range could be under their range. Now I pulled off one of my other Celtic slingers back into my mainline because he doesn't have any bow horsemen over here. He's just got two bow horsemen here, and I think one Celtic slinger should be more than enough to finish them off if they happen to come into range. Now I'm also sending one of my Levy Freemen, putting an attack order on them, and they'll just chase them off, and if they ever come into range, then those Levy Freemen can shoot their javelins. Now let's see what else William Kazanka has brought. So we can see that he's brought a couple of bow horsemen whom he's circling around my army with. And he's also brought a total of 5 spear horsemen, 3 on his right and 2 on his left. Behind them, he's brought a couple of spear warriors. Now, these units cost a total of 300 talents, and they are very strong units for that price. I mean, they've got a 25 bonus versus large. Sure, their melee attack is terrible, but they've got great melee defense at 61 too, and their armor for a barbarian unit is very good. Considering that they're only 300 talents, they're probably one of the most cost-effective spear units that you can get. Definitely the most cost-effective spear unit you can get for a barbarian army. His main line is going to be comprised of 4 noble swords. Again, very strong swords, and definitely very cost-effective. And actually, no, it's going to be 5 noble swords and a couple of mercenary axe warriors, and finally one spears unit. Now these are the exact same like mercenary Dacian spearmen. They cost like 220, and they're definitely not worth it. Maybe you could have switched it up, brought maybe a couple of skirmishers instead. But let's see how this battle goes. In terms of infantry, he would win out definitely. I've brought a lot of spear warriors because I expected him to bring some of those shock cavalry, the Getae elite shock cavalry, who can be pretty dangerous. But he hasn't, so it's a lot of their usefulness has gone down the drain right off the bat. But they could be pretty useful in holding. They don't have shield wall, which really affects them a lot. Shield wall greatly benefits barbarian spears' holding capabilities. If you haven't seen that video, it's pretty useful actually. With shield wall, they last up to 25% longer against a melee infantry unit. So it's definitely got its uses, and without shield wall, they definitely won't be able to last as long. Now his bow horsemen have come into a pretty dangerous position, so I'm moving my heavy horse away from their range. I think he's turned on, yeah, he definitely has turned on heavy shot, but you can see my Celtic slingers are in range, and just a couple of volleys, and especially since this is going on their flanks, it would be able to kill them off pretty soon. And also this Levy Freeman will probably be able to shower one, yeah, that one javelin just destroyed like 12 of them. And now, more of those Celtic slingers are killing them off. Now this Celtic warrior I just sent to attack his mercenary axe warriors in this huge, pretty fearsome line that he's got, and that's just to hold them off for a little bit. And now I'm using that couple of precious seconds that I have to bring these spear warriors up in front and hold off some of his charges. And meanwhile, I'm engaging some of his spear horsemen as well with my heavy horse. My heavy horse should be able to win out in that fight as long as he can, as long as I don't have to engage his spear warriors in the process. Now you can see I'm splitting off two of my heavy horse, just like making him a bit confused as to what to do. And this one heavy horse will be caught by this spear warrior, but I've got some heavy horse which can get some rear charges in, and I'm going to have to get rear charges in as soon as possible, and I'm going to have to get multiple charges in if I want to win this infantry battle. Now I've supported the spear warriors with my sword followers just so that they can hold out for a long time. Sword followers are very strong units, as I've said before, and you know, along with spear warriors, this entire line will take a long time to crumble. And that's what I'm banking on. I'm banking on my main line to last as long as possible so that I can get as many charges in with my superior cavalry on his infantry as much as possible. Now, he's brought his extra noble swords is going to attack my sword followers. Let's see actually how well my Celtic warriors are doing. This is what was surprising when I saw this replay initially. After all of this time, they're still like surviving, and they're not just surviving, they're actually thriving. 36 kills on Celtic warriors who cost 350. They're like pretty throwaway units, and the fact that they're actually doing pretty well is pretty surprising. But now he's popped headhunt on his noble swords, and those kill counts is going to rise. But my sword followers should be able to win in this engagement. Wherever I've got like a one-on-one against his mercenary axe warriors, I should be able to win out. Here, one of my heavy horses is being slaughtered by his spear troops. That's like spears and spear warriors just ganging up on a heavy horse and just destroying them. But his bow horsemen, well, they haven't really been put to their full effect. Again, credit to my Levy Freemen and two of my Celtic slingers whom I've just, one of my Celtic slingers whom I've just issued an attack order on his bow horsemen with. But now my main line is crumbling, as you can see, and he's managed to get in through the gaps. But it's just going to boil down to these sword followers being, the tanks that they are. And this is why I love Boii. Despite the fact that they don't have a lot of resources, especially compared to Getae, the resources that they do have are just incredibly useful. Sword followers just lasting. They're getting flank shots by noble swords, but they're going to take a long time before they can die. And his general meanwhile has his back turned to Celtic slingers, and while Celtic slingers aren't very strong units, one of the few times that they do excel is when enemy units have their backs turned towards them, and that's just going to be a great opportunity for these guys to start throwing their rocks at them. But as for the main infantry, it doesn't really look like it's going in my favor. His infantry have broken through my main line, and my heavy horse, some of them have got like 20-30 kills, so they've not really done their job. At this point, it really doesn't look like it's going to go in my favor. But yeah, I mean, his general is in quite a precarious situation, and you can see the casualties are starting to rise now. So that's kind of a silver lining for me. My Old Sword General should be able to beat his Noble Swords General because they are one of the strongest units in the game. But yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of how long I can hold out at this point before I lose. It's really not looking like it'll go in my favor, but this is an engagement that'll be good for me because his spear horsemen, who aren't great horsemen in the first place, are going to be rear charged by spear warriors. One of the really good aspects about spear warriors is they are basically heavily specialized anti-cavalry forces because they do have cavalry counter tactics, and they have pretty decent melee attack on top of that. So even without cavalry counter tactics, they will be able to kill off spear horsemen because they're being supported by Celtic slingers who are firing all the way back there. And now these big ass blobs are just going to be great targets for my heavy horse to just slam into. And I've put wedge formation so that there are not many heavy horse left that I have. So whatever few of them that I do have, I'm going to just maximize their capability. And here he's popped rally and raised banner, and that's a really good move on his part because this is just a giant blob, so his general's effect will be maximized over here. But it's not like he really needs to pop them at this point. I think my spear warriors will be able to kill off his cavalry. This is a mistake that he made. He didn't really need to engage his cavalry so soon, and considering the fact that I had these potent spear warriors with me, that's one of the few times that they can actually be useful in this battle. an extra sword followers, I think, that just beat his mercenary axe warriors. He's going to charge into his spears now. Spears are, they're going to get slaughtered by sword followers. That's definitely not an engagement that they want to get into. And yeah, now it's turning a bit into my favor. Sword followers at 58 units have got like 75 kills, and his noble swords will start to take some damage here because you know, they'll just get bogged down eventually. My sword followers over here just made short work of his spear troops, and now they're going to charge into his noble swords. My general just tanked out this battle. Like, I can't even believe they tanked out for so long. Like, that was just insane. But this is another interesting part of the battle. Actually, no, it's going to take another minute, but I think some of my subscribers would have probably known what's going to happen, why I've pointed to these Levy Freemen. You'll probably get a better idea now. But in terms of this battle, I finally managed to win. I have no idea how I won that that blob, except for the fact that, you know, he charged in his cavalry a bit too early, and that allowed my extra spear warriors to get some great rear charges in, and that just caused a morale penalty, I think. But here is where these Levy Freemen should not be kept. If you're looking at from my opponent's perspective, because, you know, they're not doing anything yet, but this is where they're going to excel. Just one massive volley that destroyed his noble swords. I think they got like 30 kills right off that volley, because it was right into the backs of those guys too. So that's, yeah, I guess that's one of the really beneficial aspects of these Levy Freemen, because those javelins are very deadly. They're not related to your weapon damage, so javelin damage by itself is just really strong against cavalry or against infantry. So I have no idea how I won that battle. It was really fun, and it was a really close battle. My Celtic slingers didn't really do too well, but I brought them only to destroy his bow horsemen. So I guess in that respect, the combination of my Levy Freemen and my Celtic slingers were enough to you know, either destroy them or, you know, just create enough of a distraction that he couldn't attack my main army. My Celtic warriors, like, I have no idea how these guys got 140 kills, because they were attacking axe warriors and noble swords. So I have no clue how they got 140 kills, but they did somehow, and I guess that really helped me. So thanks, Celtic warriors. My sword followers did really well too. Again, you can't make a mistake bringing these guys. 192 kills on one, 110 on the other, and, you know, 87 and 62 on the others. And, you know, for a 710 talent cost unit, they're just incredibly useful. Oathsworn did really well. They didn't get many kills, but they managed to tank out the entire battle. And while I expected my heavy horse to do a lot more damage, I think my spear warriors were the unsung heroes in this battle. Considering that they fought against mainly infantry, they managed to come back, and they managed to get a couple of very crucial rear charges on his spear horsemen and on his noble swords, which caused like a morale penalty that I think won me the battle in the end, at the end of the day. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this battle, and stay tuned for more. Peace!